If I ever DM again, animal companions are banned. Just because of these videos.
I'm leaving that in. Anyways, hello, I'm Ashy.
Are these getting...
Today I have Law.
Look at you starting recording midway through my statement.
I also have Dez.
Hi. No animal companions if I'm your DM.
So,
Hold on. The cleric shit I think was worse. Are you also banning clerics?
Cleric shit was not worse because we're on like what video? It feels like 72 of this shit.
We had nearly 13 hours of cleric. What are you talking about?
no comments are made here.
We'll wait until all of the videos are done and we can let Ashley compile and just let us know the total runtime of both.
Fine.
Dear God.
Okay, let's go.
Alright. So today we're going to be talking about vermins. These are the vermin specifically from the Curious Companion feat, kind of like the plants from last video.
Any arachnophobes, slip out now because they're in here.
Yeah, there's a couple spider and spider-shaped things.
I mean, I'm just glad that I used to own a Chilean rose. I used to own a tarantula. But my fish tanks are full of fucking Asian leeches. So any fear I had of stuff like that has been long gone out of necessity.
When you own a tarantula but are an arachnophobe, can someone come feed my spider?
My granddad bought it for me when I was like probably 7. He got it from a pet shop on the way back from Mablethorpe. We had a day at the beach, ate some crabs, and then got a spider because my granddad was like that.
You know what? Fair enough. I feel like your spider loses a fight to most of these, but maybe not all of them. We'll see.
It was a basic bitch tarantula, probably.
Alright, so these being vermins, they are all very inherently stupid, so much so that they have the mindless trait, rendering them immune to mind-affecting effects, both positive ones and negative ones. That
actually makes me question the fact that plants had an intelligence score.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna question it either. I'm gonna accept it and be okay with it because it made them better.
They should have been even more mindless than say like a rat or something.
I mean, I don't know. That hunting cactus was apparently intelligence too. It was very smart for, you know, a plant.
I think the choice of making vermin mindless and immune to being able to take feats versus plants is just... I think there's a fear of the special abilities vermin have, which is usually a poison or something. And as we've seen, Paizo hates giving players easy access to decent poison.
Truth. That seems to be the case. You could hypothetically and theoretically increase the intelligence of these companions, which would give them feats, but that may also cost them their mindless trait, which kind of gets rid of one of their biggest draws in that they kind of just do what they do. At the top of our list here, we have the giant ant.
Ant?
It's a big ass ant. It starts at small sized and goes up to medium, so it can become a person-sized ant.
That is actually a big ass ant.
It's not particularly fast, but it does have a climb speed, of course. It should. Natural armor is kind of low, but at least it has it. We start initially off with a bite. It's only a D4 with a grab, so it starts with a grab, but it doesn't have great stats to support that, starting off with 10 strength, 12 dexterity, and 15 constitution. It's actually kind of chunky for as far as the con's concerned. Which is good because it is actually an animal companion that gains a poison later. So going from 15 to 17 constitution is pretty good for poison. But 14 strength is
Good luck landing it.
It's not a very good stat stick at all.
Okay.
I'm surprised this ant doesn't have tremor sense. Ants can sense vibrations through the hairs on their legs, like spiders.
Yeah, it does
Ants
not.
actually just have tremor sense in real life.
Don't drag real physics into this. We've already seen when we got like disappointed by a lot of critters.
True.
Okay, so those abysmal stats, the almost unsalvageable offense, its poison is not doing enough for me, especially because you're spending a frickin' feat on this bugger.
Yeah.
I'm thinking D for bird.
D for bird?
And that's only because I don't want to put it in F because it didn't completely piss me off like some of the F tiers did.
I'll put
Yeah,
B
it's-
as a consolation then.
It's a
Yeah,
D.
I was definitely thinking F because this thing unironically deserves it.
It's not a very good companion. It has Constitution, that's all it has, and like yeah, it's got grab and poison. It's not
They
a
didn't
bad
even-
combination, but it needs to be able to land that grab.
They
Do
didn't even give it permanent
anything.
ant hull.
What
They did
happened
not.
to ants? Yeah, I'm gonna say, what happened to these ants having 200 times their body strength to mass ratio? Whatever happened to that?
Well, you see,
didn't
they
need
turned
that.
it into a spell that they named Ant Hall, but then they didn't give it to the giant ant.
They did
How
not.
much can a person-sized ant lift? Many ants can carry up to 10 to 50 times their weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is definitely D tier, and the fact that you have to pay a feat for it, like the designers of this, like, should feel bad that they included this on the list. I
Ooh,
feel like the
I-
only way this is threatening is when the DM uses it as you just stepped on a giant fucking ant colony, and now all of the small and medium-sized ants are coming after you as a swarm.
You know, this should have actually been the realistically, what this should actually be is one of the soldier forms of an ant colony with with the giant head, and actually give it an obnoxiously strong grab. What does it do? It grabs. Does it do anything else? Fuck no. But it grabbed good.
Instead of kind of going for the giant fire ant approach, except they didn't give it a flamethrower for a face.
Yeah.
No, this is.
I bet. Do you know a regular ass bullet ant? I bet a regular ass real life bullet ant that's about an inch long actually has a better poison than this.
Probably. I mean, one strength damage, like, okay, and game mechanics turn, that's probably good poison, but it's not a great poison, and it's a shorter duration than most, even.
Short duration and just the odds of it landing that sting.
Yeah.
Its strength is too low, and it can't even be like a reliable. Oh well, it'll go dex instead. Like no, it's like there's just no.
It's
There's
got
no
neither
salvage.
of
Right,
these
well-
in spades.
Fuck you, ant. We're gonna go to the assassin bug.
Alright, so this assassin bug, it's a flyer, unsurprisingly, so that probably automatically helps out in the speed department, despite the fact that it's not particularly fast for an animal companion. We got a little bit of natural armor again. We got a bite, we have another poison, we have some claws, so it's not just a bite this time. We've got an okay-ish starting stat line of 13 strength, 15 dex, 13 con. A 4th level advancement, so it's okay-ish based on that. We got a poison that deals dex damage. We have a poison stream, usable once every 1d4 rounds. That
Oh shit! It's actually got a cooldown on it, and not just a once per day. Ugh!
yes,
That's,
Damn.
Yeah, you know.
we go up to like around 17 strength and 15 constitution. So not an amazing amount of constitution, but it has some scaling. 15 cons. I'll give it okay. Not great for a poison, but eh. The poison stream weirdly has a dex-based DC rather than a constitution-based DC, which is a little
Yeah, because
unfortunate
it's a
because
line effect.
15 goes down to 13 dex, but at least Animal Companion will scale dexterity to help that out a little bit. It's got a pretty good ability, or a pretty cool ability. I don't know if that's particularly good.
Well, okay, hold on. It's a dex based. It's a dex to avoid the line, but the poison itself is still con based.
The poison effects is con based.
Yeah.
The DC for the line is scaled off of dexterity, because normally those are scaled off of constitution as well. Normally.
Are they?
Yes. Yes, they are.
I mean, there's a breath weapon, sure, but it's not a breath weapon. Any line based spell are absolutely dex based. So this is a weirdest
No,
pseudo.
line-based
SLA.
spells are based on whatever the caster is. What are you talking about?
It's a reflex save
Okay.
to avoid the line.
Yes, I'm talking about the DC is set by dexterity.
Oh, I
That's
see.
the part that I'm trying to get on. That's odd.
Look, I woke up with a headache, and it's taking me a long time to process information. I understand. I suppose that is that just representing its ability to accurately yeet it, though.
I'm assuming that's the case.
Right
in the
It's
eye.
not the most confusing thing.
Yeah, it's not the most confusing thing. It just apparently took forever to explain properly. So,
Yes, because I'm stupid today.
So we get 3 attacks. They're not particularly strong. It's a 17 strength, so it's not the greatest stat stick, but it's salvageable. Poison, and a line attack with a cooldown.
It is so disappointing that it's poison. Oh, it switches over to con base when it gets bigger.
Oh, that's just its bite. The stream remains the same, it just exposes them to that poison.
Yeah,
Okay.
the stream is just an automatic exposure.
Yeah, it's a vector for that poison.
So it doesn't have to actually land bites if enemies aren't good at reflex saves.
I mean, it's a flyer with a line attack.
Yeah.
That is
Spray
actually
the
true.
dude in heavy armor and laugh.
Yeah.
Because
I don't
his
hate
fort
this thing.
save means nothing.
So,
Like, most flyers are fragile and a bit weak in the thing because they're still expected to melee with claws and stuff.
yes.
I think this thing's got some decent use cases if you can go for the idiot that's not got good constitution.
So we're looking
Now,
at
something with a good
C,
fort save is
B.
pointless against.
True. It doesn't do much of anything to something with a good fortitude save. C, B, A. I think it's not good enough for A.
No,
Maybe-
I don't think it's good enough for a B. I think it's a high C.
You think it's high C?
Yeah.
We have
It's
the same
like,
opinion, Des?
Yeah.
High C it
It's
is.
not terrible.
it's like it's almost out of average, but its stats are it's got the default bug stats.
Yeah.
It's at least kind of cool.
It is cool. I like it. Like, it's not great. It's not the best, but I like it.
Alright, so
It's a
we
better bird.
Okay, that's a real high bar, isn't it? Alright, so we got a giant beetle as well. This thing is slow, it flies, also kind of slow, but hey, flying helps. We got a decently chunky amount of natural armor. It's a beetle, so of course. We got a bite that starts at D6 and goes with D8. It's small to medium again. We have a base stats of like 13 strength, 12 dex,
Excuse me.
13 con. So not particularly great. Strength goes up to 17, and con goes up to 15. It does have trample.
What the
kind of
fuck?
doesn't do a lot.
What the fuck is this D4 trample doing?
I don't know. It can trample something, okay?
If you trample something, aren't they not prone?
Yes.
Okay. So it looks like the thing that this one, it's an incidental amount of damage to what it's actually good at is just knocking a bunch of shit prone. Even though it's medium though, all it can really do is trample goblins.
It can't do much with its trample, no. I think this one's kind of bad.
Dude.
Yeah. Like, the only thing it's got going for it is the fact that it's kind of crunchy. That's it.
It's kind of crunchy and it can actually hit, so I think it's high D at least.
I'd say high D, but definitely D. Like,
Yeah.
If that trample
I can't-
matched its bite attack, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even say high D, because you're still spending a feat for this fucker.
Yeah.
True.
You're spending a feat for it when you could get something that's crunchy with terrible stats by just taking a bird.
I mean,
Just find the crunchier bird.
or if you wanted a good trampler, there are some large tramplers that are living up and around D tier.
True, there's the elephants.
Which oddly do not require a feat, unlike this thing. Yeah, no, this thing.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
Okay.
That feat just murdered it.
So, a giant caterpillar.
Okay.
Alright, so... It's actually surprisingly fast for a caterpillar, and climbs really good. Its natural armor isn't amazing, at least it has a little bit. Its bite actually impressed me. It's not a good bite, but it impressed me at a D6 to a D8. And it has bristles. So, the bristles inflict poison as well as D4 damage, and it actually has what it does here. If you hit it with a natural attack or a non-reach melee weapon, you gotta make a reflex save, or you take damage and are dealing with that poison.
Wow,
The-
this thing actually has the mechanic that you want on something with defensive spines.
Yeah, it does. Its base stat line's not great. 14 strength is salvageable and usable early. Dexterity 13 is fine. The con 13 is kind of. We're talking about a
Is
poison
const-
creature again, so.
Is Constitution only being 15 when it's basically its only job is to greeble into a fight and have the shit beat out of it?
It is a strength-based poison, so it does strength damage, and it does like a D2 out the gate. It also has the compression rule, so it can squeeze into really, really tight spaces. You know, if that's your thing.
This can be fixed. This can be fixed to do something. But you've got to spend a feat.
You gotta spend a feat for it if you want it.
I
unless you
want
have
to
another
put it in a
means.
C because its bristles actually function.
Its bristles function. They're kind of cool.
That's it. That's my only basis for it. Otherwise, it'd be D.
It's another dex-based DC, unfortunately, but it does get a +2 racial bonus, so it helps itself, and you could ability focus its bristles.
C for bristles functioning.
C for bristles functioning.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
That's it. That's my only
fair.
logic.
Its bristles work.
Which is a rarity in Pathfinder.
So how do you feel about giant centipedes?
I've handled one of them before. They're kind of fucking terrifying because you know if it gets a bit wigged out, it will bite you.
Well, I'm just gonna say I am overly disappointed at how big the giant caterpillar's entry is, and then looking at the giant centipede, and I'm just guessing that this thing is gonna probably hit D for bug.
Okay, so it's slower than the caterpillar. It's got less armor than the caterpillar. Its bite is less damaging than the caterpillar. It has a base 8 strength, so that's phenomenal. Sarcastically. 17 dexterity,
Hold
which is
on.
actually salvageable.
In the bug world, giant centipedes are the apex predator of bugs. They are vicious, venomous, very fast. Why is it worse than a fucking caterpillar, which is a sack of water?
I think the caterpillar is the apex of this thing, to be honest. And its poison isn't particularly good either, being only 1 dex damage. Its constitution sucks. So stat line sucks, bite sucks, poison sucks.
And the only thing it's good at goes backwards. It's dex.
Yeah.
Well, at least it can't be tripped. Getting D
least it
for bug.
D for bug. It gets up next to the beetles. Well, there's also the giant whiptail centipede, which has a little more going on. It's much faster. Like, literally twice as fast as the other centipede. It's got actually respectable natural armor. Its bite, it gets to a point where it kind of hurts. Its stats still kind of aren't great, but it has much better increases. Like, we go up to 17 strength, and we go up to, like, 17 constitution, so actually kind of respectable. It gets a tail slap as a second hit that deals non-lethal damage and can trip, so it's doing a lot of things. It's got a better poison. It's got a better poison DC. It's actually got a usable strength score at 7th level plus.
Man, this is just the bug version of a wolf.
Well, I mean, you can tail slap, and then you bite. If you got your trip off, it's easier to bite them.
Plus poison.
Yeah.
No, yeah, not terrible.
I mean, realistically, once you get this, it's going to have at least, what? It's a 7th level advancement. It's gonna enlarge itself and probably be somewhere around 20-something strength and 20-something con. So it's
Roughly,
actually
yes.
supporting what he wants to do.
Roughly, yes. Yes. It'll be
So-
like 19 at 7th level.
I don't hate this. I don't actually think it's bad. This might be a B.
I think this is actually a good bug. And it's also the first bug that reaches large, which helps out its tripping nonsense, too.
Yes.
If its poison was better, if its poison actually got stronger and became a 2 to save, I'd probably put it in A. But its poison is sort of holding it back a bit.
Should it hang out next to the pitcher plant, or should it hang out next to the shooty cactus boy?
The shooting cactus was good.
True. So pitcher
Honestly-
It's gonna hang out next to the paper plant.
Yeah.
Okay. So good enough to be in B, not good enough to sit next to the big boys in B.
No.
Yeah.
If
I
its
mean-
poison was better, then it would. But
Yeah.
its poison doesn't get better.
Yeah, like I mean, a D2 dex is like 1D2 dex isn't great. That's pretty common. All right,
Yeah,
so a giant cockroach. How do you guys feel about the giant cockroach?
Roach.
It kind
Um,
of ekes me
I
out a
love
bit.
its bonus feat.
Yeah.
What's his bonus feat?
Look at the bottom down there. 4th level advancement bonus feat.
Endurance. And it gets Die Hard because it's a fucking roach. Nothing can kill a roach.
All right, so our boy has 3 forms of movement. It's as fast as you are. It can climb better than you. It can fly better than you, probably. Cough, cough. It's got a little bit of natural armor, not a huge amount, but a not irrelevant amount. It has very low strength, very low dex, but a lot of constitution.
Jesus Christ.
It has hold
They-
breath. It has light sensitivity, which is a negative, but oh well. Tremor sense.
They went in all in on that hard to kill thing.
I mean, 11 strength, 12 dex. It's not doing anything with its bite, but it exists basically to be this sponge. It's a sponge.
It's a sponge.
It's a
You
sponge
can't
with
drown
dialogue.
it. You can't smash it. If you take
D.
its head off, it's still holding its breath. It's got plenty of time.
Fucking D.
It's bad, but its stat line actually does make me happy.
I mean, or do we want to shove it in meme?
Do we? Yeah, it's in meme. I was about to say I was scrolling down. It's meme tier.
That's it.
Okay. It
You
deserves to be
avoid-
D
you-
tier. It deserves to be F tier, maybe even because all it is a chonk. But it's a funny meme.
It's a goddamn joke.
Yep, it got saved from the normal tier list. Welcome to the memes. You get to
The-
sit with the Gloctopus.
They are not wrong. It is notoriously difficult to slay.
Ah,
I mean, you can't take two
now
feet.
we have actually hit the giant crab, the premier murderer of level 1 parties who underestimate the giant crab.
So the
Oh,
premier
no.
murder of giant, this premier murder giant crab starts at small, goes to medium. It's speedy-ish on land at 30, swims pretty okay. It has a decent amount of natural armor. It starts with all of its natural armor basically. You start with 2 attacks. They're both claws. D3 plus grab, so you know, grab boy, constrict boy. Its stat line starting off is not great. And it doesn't become much better, going up to like 15 strength and 16 con. It's a wee bit durable, but it doesn't quite have enough strength, I think, to really do what it's wanting to do. But it is a double grab, double constrict monster.
Crab.
Crab.
I think crab goes probably into D tier.
It's D.
Maybe at least high D,
It's-
because it's hard to say grab constrict is bad.
It's S tier if you're a new person who underestimates them, though.
It's S tier if you
Well,
underestimate it, and it's
Yeah,
S tier in
it's a
tastiness.
slayer of level 1 players.
Yeah. It will run around you if you're level 1. The giant dragonfly. Okay. So I like dragonflies, so I hope this guy's good.
I also like dragonflies.
Okay, so off the bat, he is kind of bird tier in his stats, being low strength, high dex, kind of low con. Fly starts at 40 perfect, but goes up to 80 perfect, so he becomes a fast AF. It's a 4th level advancement. He's got a respectable amount of natural armor, honestly. Like, starting off with
The
2 and going up to
2d6
5.
bite.
His bite is a 2d6, and he gets flyby attack for free. The strength goes up to 17, con goes up to 14. So not the stickiest stat stick, but much better than any bird has any right to be.
I'm personally thinking C, because while it's not bad, and I could absolutely see this going into B because you could do things with it, it's still costing you that feat.
Yeah.
I actually kind of think this is a B for the... So it's got perfect fly speed. It doesn't act perfect fly maneuverability. It doesn't actually have to respect the rules of maintaining momentum and can only turn at this angle. It can actually
True.
just whip around back and forth in straight lines and basically outrange anything that's not a longbow.
And
Like,
Oh,
this thing is
and flyby
actually
attack.
ridiculously...
In its free
Flyby
flyby
attack
attack,
is
so it's
basically
also really safe.
Yes. It just gets to
Basically speaking.
zoom back and forth.
Like, basically,
So
once
I
per
think it's a
round,
B tier because
Okay.
as I'm just saying, you can
I'm
do
willing to
things with
accept
this, and
B.
it's really hard to actually stop.
I mean, yeah, it's basically once per turn, and flyby attack doesn't stop you from vital striking. You can vital strike this guy with flyby attack, and there's nothing that whoever's getting hit by it can say about it. It's one below the premium 18 on its own merits, but by the time
What's
it's
that?
4th level, it's gonna have that +1 to strength. It'll be 18 strength.
What's that? You can fly by attack, but how can it learn to do that? It doesn't have a brain.
By cheating.
You're gonna say you cheat. Well, I mean, there's the whole you improve
Actually,
natural weapon, that 2d6, you bump it up to a 3d6.
Yeah.
It's like actually fairly respectable if you just turn it into a fucking
Yeah,
ballista bolt that comes
you-
back.
you do absolutely have to give it like some intelligence for it to do any of that. But yes, once it's got some intelligence, you can give it vital strike, you can give it improved natural attack, and it can fly by attack for free, bite somebody, and take a chunk out of them.
Yeah.
And do this extremely safely.
That's why it's in B, I think. It is capable of protecting itself by merit of it being just so fast.
Hey, do you like Eurypterids?
I've played Ark! Fucking no, I don't!
Oh, okay. Well, it's slow on
You
land.
take one step onto the beach, get poisoned, fall unconscious, and sink to the bottom of the sea. Forever.
Fair.
You get
So,
Davy Jones instantly.
It's slow on land. It can swim kind of okay.
Okay.
We got some decent natural armor on it. It's got 3 attacks out the gate that are D3s, so they're not amazing. They only scale to D4s. They got a poison. Their stat line starting off is like kind of pitiful, and you gotta live with that pitiful stat line for quite a while until you get to 7th level. The poison is constitution damage, which could be nasty. It does have a pretty gnarly +8 to strength, so it goes up to 18 strength on its own. Constitution goes up to 16, so it's actually kind of supporting its poison. And if it inflicts poison, it's like it's doing con damage. It's lowering the enemy's constitution, lowering their ability to save against it again. It is a 1 save poison though, and it goes up to large.
It is a D2 Constitution damage. Yeah, its damage fucking sucks. But it is a grab monster, and it's designed to grab and sting and shred your hit points through Constitution damage. So its damage vector is con poison.
They did not give this asshole grab for some reason, but yeah, he does sting the shit out of them.
Oh, I thought it had grab on its claws.
My
brain just inserted it.
I mean, considering it's basically Sea Scorpion and quite literally functions as Sea Scorpion, it should, I agree. But they did not give it grab. But they did give it at least a nasty poison. So where should we place nasty poison?
I think this, because you're spending a feat on it, it might be a C.
Okay.
If it had grab, it'd be a B. But because it's not a shitty poison, it's not D.
Yeah, okay.
I can definitely agree with that.
It is kind of tanky though, so that is nice for it.
I mean, it's a scorpion. It's a large scorpion. I hope it is. It's very crunchy. It has an exoskeleton.
So you were mentioning leeches earlier, so we have a giant leech here. It is slow as balls. It can at least be on land, but it's slow as balls. Even in water, it's kind of slow. Our natural armor is basically negligible. We have a bite and we have attached, which is an automatic grab. There's not a roll, it grabs. It grabs onto something and starts giving it the sook. Strength score 9, so it's pitiful. Dex score 14, so it's okay, I guess. Con score 12, not very good.
I like how its blood drain is draining your strength and not your constitution, despite it being your fucking blood.
Blood drain starts off as a strength drain. It does have amphibious, so it breathes air and water. It's got blind sense out to 30 feet, so that's nice. It's got scent. It's susceptible to salt being a leech. Its increases are not good for it, because you only go up to like 11 strength, and you go down to 12 dex. Like, bad stats. But the blood drain does go up from like 1 strength to 1 strength and 1 con. So blood drain's actually kind of spooky. But also it's hard for it to hit. But if it does hit, it just attaches. It doesn't make 2 rolls to attach.
It does. Could you imagine your ranger or your hunter or something breaking it? Just you all attack a bandit camp with this thing, and the bandit camp's camp cook just pulls out the bag of salt and hooks it at your leech, and it just shrivels up.
God damn it.
No, Leechykens.
Not Leech Chan.
Oh no! It looks like a dried cum song now.
Alright. So, attach is a cool ability that lets it just attach to something. Its blood drain's not weak by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually a pretty strong blood drain. But it does struggle to actually bite and attach to anything because, yeah.
How do you get this thing up to someone once it's level 7?
Obviously,
do you have to have this giant black slobbering sausage wrapped around your fucking shoulders and throw it at the thing you want?
That's exactly what I was going to say, actually, yeah.
No,
You
you
have to
see
carry
what you
this
gotta
thing?
do? What you
eat
gotta
it at the
do is
enemy.
you build into grappling. That way you can hold the thing down and then attach the leech to it.
I mean, if you pin them, then the leech does basically get a free attach.
Yes. So there's the plan. Double team with your leech.
I mean, I guess at that point you are running a hunter and you have teamwork feats with your leech. Which is fucked up. But I guess it does work.
You enlarge yourself so you can carry it comfortably. It becomes the weapon. Alright. Seriously though, do we consider it D tier or C tier? Because I don't see the thing with its stat line making it higher than that.
I don't consider it a D tier specifically because that blood drain is spooky, and if you can leverage it, it's pretty good. But everything else is stopping you leveraging it too well.
Like it's
You
really
have to
hard.
build entirely into I have a leech.
It's really hard to leverage, but that is a spooky blood drain. So low C.
Yeah, it can be good, but you've got to jump through every hoop in the universe.
1 strength, 1 con blood drain is that good. It's at least C minus. The rest of everything else is a detriment. All right, so
On one more point on the leech,
right.
that con drain becomes actually more valuable the higher level the campaign is, because if you knock something's con score down, it's kind of losing quite a big chunk of its hit dice worth of hit points.
Oh yeah, no. Like every time it ticks down, it's losing its hit dice worth of hit points just all at once.
So your value of what that Constitution drain is doing kind of does scale with how much the thing you're fighting really likes its Constitution.
It's ripping apart 2 stats too.
Well, that's true. There is the strength,
which is making it harder for it to deal with the leech, harder for it to deal with the party in general, for most things.
Yeah, but it itself is not hard to deal with. Its stats don't really make it very durable.
Yeah, no, its stats are pretty irrelevant. It is a blood range vector if you can make it work.
That's it. It is just a blood drain vector. Its blood drain is very good, but oh boy.
All right, so
Locust.
We have a giant locust. So it's got the triple move patterns here: speed, climb, fly. All of them are not very fast, but also it flies. We've got actually a respectable amount of natural armor in the long run. The fly does become a 60-foot later, so its legs may as well atrophy off. The strength, dex, and con on the creature, 12 strength and 11 con, does not leave much. It's not very desirable. Dexterity 17 is okay. That said, it flips on its head when it gains its boosts because it goes up to 16 strength and 15 dex. And 16 strength isn't premium, but it's usable. The bite kind of hurts a little bit. It can always take 10 on acrobatics check, but also it can fly, so cute ability. I don't ever see it coming to play really, unless you're enemies love libraries, books, and are wizards. But it deals double damage to plants and things made out of paper, wood, or other plant-like materials. I guess if you're fighting a lot of plants and druids.
I'm gonna say you sick it on the elf whatever and eat their dark leaf armor.
Yeah, it just have it chew up the armor. Yeah, that'll work. That'll do it.
No, I'll loot! Stop it!
Oh yeah, and I guess I should mention this. It has this spit goo ability. It's a touch attack, 30-foot range. It inflicts sickened,
For 1 round.
which is not bad. Like, it has a CC ability built in. And
Yeah,
it
but
does get a respectable fly speed later, so it could fly around just spit at things.
Yeah, but it's sicker for 1 round.
Yeah. I mean,
There's
sickened
no
is a
damage.
-2 to a bunch of shit.
Yeah, but it's only 1
-2
round.
to basically -2 to basically everything.
Yeah, but it's only for 1 round.
It might
Yeah,
only need
but
to
the
be one
minus
round, but
2 to
yeah.
saves can absolutely be capitalized on by your other casters.
Especially you, being probably a caster.
I still think it's a D.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's
at
not
least a
great.
high
I'm just
D.
saying that's it's one salvageable thing, but it's costing you a fucking feat for that.
If it lasted for 1d3 rounds, I'd be more charitable.
I mean, if it was for 1d3 rounds, it would probably actually be B tier. It might entirely jump C tier, just because 1d3 rounds would be pretty good. So high D or low D?
I'm gonna say high D.
I guess.
It at least has a niche.
I don't like it. I don't like this thing. But okay.
Okay, so the mantis shrimp.
Hell yeah!
So, the precursor to clowns, it's actually kind of fast on land at 40 feet. You know, not for an animal companion, but for a creature in general. Like your
What do you mean
average
three- what do you mean
clown, its
your
makeup
average
and
clown?
coloration gives it a high amount of natural armor, or at least a relevant amount of natural armor. Like your average clown, it also has 2 pincers. Its base stats at 12 strength, 17 dex, and con 14, like, it's salvageable, it's not amazing. It
Did
goes
you just
up
say like your average clown? It has 2 pincers.
Yes.
All right.
I don't like
I'm on the
clowns, okay?
I'm on the same page as you there. I do not have any idea what the fuck she's going on about.
I don't like clowns. Alright, 18 strength, 16 con, so the stat line isn't the stat stickiest, but not bad either. You got 2 pincers that go up to d8s. You gain a special attack called Speedy Pincers, and it says what it does on the 10, which is lovely. You get iteratives. So you're probably not seeing 16 BAB with this, because that's the amount of hit dice you're gaining, and you have 3/4 scaling, but you might see 11. So the pincers will probably get, one of the pincers will get like 2 additional attacks. So up to 4 attacks, because iteratives, one will be -5, one will be -10, but they're like full damage attacks. It does have a very rare resistance, a resistance that's almost as rare as the damage type itself, sonic resistance, up to 10, and blind sight. Blathering over, how do you guys feel about this creature?
Why does it have a... Right, okay, so you've got your mantis shrimp with the boxing gloves, right?
Yes.
This is clearly not that. This is one of those mantis shrimps with the slicey, grabby, barbed boys. Where the fuck is its grab?
I don't know.
It was
Like-
given sonic resistance, so no grab.
I mean, I think real mantis shrimps and clowns also have sonic resistance, so that makes sense.
Ah, that's why mimes project an aura of silence. Mimes are evolved clowns.
I mean, obviously. Or they're just the French variation.
They're the Alolan clown.
I wish to apologize to all of our clowns in the audience. Please don't hate on our channel just because Ashley dislikes you.
You may hate the channel. I give you permission, clowns.
Where's Chuckles? Okay.
But
Well,
yeah, no.
All right, I was just scrolling down. Like, all right, we're done with this. Where would I put this? C, I guess.
Like my thoughts are, how much would you value the speedy pincers? The extra attack that it gets. It's not the
it
greatest
gets.
stat stick, but
I mean, if you can get it the improved natural attack, it does get 3 punches at
it'll
a
go up to 4
respectable
punches.
thing. 4 punches, okay.
It'll go up to 4 punches. One pincer
I
gets
mean,
3,
sure,
the other
but
one just gets 1.
But it's still competing with for a feat. Your pounce rakes, your powerful charges.
Yeah. I think. Oh man.
It gets up to a lot of attacks with a decent stat line. That said, the
So B.
-5 and -10
There's a little
iterative, the
B.
-10 iterative might as well not exist.
Oh, sure. I don't know, man. I don't have any strong feelings about this thing,
Fair enough.
which is usually a C, which is usually a solid C.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking C.
I'm
C it
like,
is.
meh.
Alright, so the giant mantis. I also really like mantises, I think they're so cool.
Same.
Okay, so the mantis here is reasonably fast. Like, reasonably fast on land, reasonably fast climbing. It also flies, so it has climb. AC, decent AC. The claws do not hurt very much, but they do grab. Our boy does go up to large. It starts with the special attack called lunge. Lunge allows it to double its current reach. So for a medium that is going from 5 to 10, when it becomes large, it goes from 10 to 20. So it can reach out and touch someone. If it successfully grabs a target, it gets to immediately use its mandibles to secondary attack once it levels up. A sudden strike means it always gets to make full attacks in the surprise round. Its stat line does not start great at 10 strength, 15 dex, 10 con, but it goes up to 18 strength and 14 con, so not the tankiest, but at least it has a reasonable amount of strength.
I don't think this is a
I'm-
bad creature.
I'm honestly thinking B, but the one
Yeah.
thing I kind of wish is I wish its special attack of mandibles wasn't a secondary attack against a grabbed creature. I kind of wish it was like Rend. But other than that,
I mean,
There's
that's fair.
strong opinions with a mouthful of food coming live.
I
Sorry
mean,
about
that's fair enough. That said, like, reading the actual creature stat log, it's like, yeah, if it grabs somebody, it just gets to bite them. And it has
Yeah.
2
and
grabs.
it's definitely grabbing from quite a bit away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this thing's waiting for something to try and skirt around the party to avoid it and just yeeting them across the room. It's coming for you.
Just yoink, grab, drag right
I
up.
think the zone control is actually quite valuable. So yeah, I think this warrants a B.
Does it get to live next to the other cactus or next to the dragonfly?
Gets to live next to the dragonfly.
Next
Wait
to
a
the
second,
dragonfly.
and 2 claws that come with plus grab. It can grab up to 2 things too.
Yes.
Arguably.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, it can.
Huh.
And even in a surprise round, it can always make a full attack.
Sure.
Which is cute. Okay, the
Absolutely.
giant mosquito. I'm not a mosquito fan. I lived in Florida for quite a while. So, this... Okay, so I'm gonna preface this with I think this creature's good, and I hate that it's good. So getting into it, you start small, you go up to medium. It's slow on land. Whoop-de-fucking-do. It has a 60-foot fly speed. Its legs may as well not exist. Natural armor. It has some, but not a lot. Bite. D6 from out the gate. Automatically has bleed. Automatically has grab. The ability scores 14 strength out the gate, so a salvageable strength score. 21 dex, a phenomenal dex score. 15 con, a pretty solid starting constitution. Its bleed starts at a D4.
Why does this spindly ass fucking mosquito have more con than beefier creatures with renowned for being quite tough and beefy?
I'm not done yet. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish cooking. Goes up to a D8 bite, so a threatening bite. The bleed goes from a D4 to 2D4. It's still got grab. It gains blood drain. Its strength score goes from 14 to 18. Its dex losing 2 doesn't matter because it's still got phenomenal dexterity. It goes up to 17 constitution, so it's kinda tanky.
Why is this fucker so good?
Why is this actually a really good like, this is a terrifying fucking creature. If it bleeds, it will kill it.
Drain. A 1d2 con blood drain.
Are we,
You know,
are we
wait.
about to
grabs-
see our first S tier in the bugs? Like, Jesus Christ.
And this is a flyer.
And just thinking about the support you can give it because you're probably a druid or a hunter.
It
Yeah.
has fly and grab. It could kidnap small fuckers. Those fuckers will bleed out pretty quickly between 2d4 bleed and d2 con damage every fucking turn.
And it's not even savable. It's just, no, this is what you're taking if it lands its attack. Which it might because it's got a respectable strength and dex.
Yeah.
Okay,
Damn.
they clearly just showed that they can make a really good stat block, so now nothing else has an excuse.
This is actually better than a Sturge.
Yes.
And Sturge's... Man, this should be a Sturge's stat block.
I can explain the 21 dexterity very easily, though. You see, some fat dev who can't flip a weapon cord probably also couldn't swat the mosquito and must have assumed it had like a 21 dex.
Ah!
I
It's
knew
just
that's where it was
mosquito
going
trauma.
and I hated it. So, are we putting it in S tier or is it going to A tier?
yeah, we are.
Yeah, even costing a feat, I would take this.
Fucking stupid ass mosquito.
Fucking
This thing is
mosquito.
actually fucking hell. Imagine dropping a bunch of these on your players. They would not be happy.
I would not be happy.
I need to check the Summon Nature's Allies list and just see if we can start summoning giant mosquitoes.
And okay, this
Yeah.
picture right here is why Florida men are badasses. They have to contend with this.
Do you reckon our Florida man could yoink one?
Absolutely. No questions about it. You could yoink it.
I mean, Florida
The
man can grab one
deadly-
of these, but Florida kid gets kidnapped by these, so it's, it's the rock, paper, scissors of Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, alright.
Is that how
So-
they evolve? Is that how a Florida kid evolves? They get kidnapped by the giant mosquito, and if they fight it off and eat it, they evolve like a Pokemon.
That's probably how it works, yeah. That sounds about right.
Okay.
Alright. So a giant scorpion. So
Starts medium.
starts medium, goes to large, has kind of a low natural armor to start with, but gets up to a decent amount at 4. You
Get
got
fast.
2 claws. It can grab. It's kind of fast, which is a surprise, honestly, because you'd think with everything else it was kind of fast, they'd make it kind of slow. You got a sting. Of course you do. You're a scorpion. You inflict poison. Base stats are not good.
Oof.
The poison does strength damage, so that's kind of cool, I guess. You got 30 feet of tremor sense, so that's good. Your attacks go from D4s to D6s, so they can kind of start to hurt. You go up from 11 all the way up to 19, so salvage strength. Constitution also gets salvaged, going from 12 to 16, so it starts actually supporting the poison a little bit, and a D2 strength poison. Still 1 save, though. It definitely does the grab poison thing.
I mean, the fact that it does salvage its own stats. It's got a respectable stat block to just function as a standard companion anyway. Big
Yeah,
tremor
it's-
sense, good.
And we're looking also 2 grabs and a sting.
Yeah. Like, it's obvious that the poison in this case, unlike the Europterid, isn't its primary method of actually dealing damage.
Yeah.
The poison is, well, is a nice thing on the end. I think this might be a B. I like
think it's a B.
scorpions. I think they're cool. And this thing does what you want it to do.
Does this boy get to live next to the cactus, or does he go back next to the mantis?
Nothing gets to live next to the cactus because the cactus has a devastating ranged attack.
Okay. I mean, is living next to the basilisk and the moray, which I mean, the moray was also really fucking cool.
The moray was also nuts.
Yeah.
Held back by water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and the tremor sense goes out to 60 feet when it levels up.
It does.
So.
It's good tremor sense. It's big. It's good. Oh man, a slug. Let's go.
All right, so yeah, we got a slug. It's not particularly fast, being a slug. It's about as fast as a basilisk, though. You got one attack being a tongue. So you lick things to death, dealing a little bit of damage and a little bit of acid damage.
Get radulated, idiot.
It's actually got impressive natural armor going up to +6. It can spit acid. So it has a D6 acid vector of, touching people with acid, which is good as a touch attack because its dexterity is atrocious and still drops further. But being a touch, it might still be able to land just through BAB and natural scaling. The bite never really becomes threatening, but it exists and it's there. The stats don't go up by much at all. Like, you get up to like 15 strength and 15 con, so you're not bringing this for its bite / tongue attack.
Mm.
If you're taking it, it's for its acid. It has some blindside as well. It actually has some damage reduction, and by damage reduction, it takes less damage from bludgeoning sources. So if it's getting beat by a mace, it's taking less damage from a mace or a club or a quarterstaff or a monk's hands usually, and it's also susceptible to salt, being a slug. So escargot.
You can't have a beach episode because the second it touches the sand, it'll shrivel up.
I mean, rest in peace, Slug Keeney.
Shut up. Could you imagine this giant ass slug wearing a bra and a G-string? Why did the ranger who owns it put it on? I don't fucking know.
You've seen Monster Incorporated, right? Do you remember Ross?
Monster Incorporated.
You know, the little
oh,
green guy with
Monsters.
one eye.
It's called Monsters Inc.
Yeah, Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Ross
At some point,
it came to mind when you said that, and I regret everything in my life that led me to this moment.
The fact you remember names of characters from that movie shocks me. Because I don't. I know Sully and Mike, that's it. I don't even remember the child's name. Okay.
I believe they call her Boo.
Good enough.
Okay, so where do we put Mr. Slug? Or Miss Slug?
Not on the beach.
Not on the beach. So
I
way
kind
far
of
away
just
from
want to
D tier.
chuck it in D tier.
B. Wait, where?
D.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, I mean, it has that touch attack. It has a niche, so I'll put it in.
Okay, fine. C. I guess it does something. Versus D and F, which is does nothing and makes me mad.
Oof.
I'm just amazed they gave the slug that much speed, since slugs, not exactly known for their notorious.
Yeah, I was expecting it to have like tortoise speed. Maybe slower.
Maybe it's
like
because
speed.
it's so big, it's got really good stride. Wait, it doesn't have legs. It's got a big foot, you see.
They should have given it a stomp attack, clearly. Alright, so the giant Solifugid. So this is like wind scorpions and camel spiders. So, I'm gonna call it the camel spider because I can pronounce that better. So,
I mean, yeah.
So our camel spider here, small to medium, is the fastest thing we've seen on the list so far on land. So 50-foot speed.
Hey Ashley, you spent a lot of time in the Middle East. Did you get jump scared by any of these fuckers?
No, I was never jump scared by them. They never caught me off guard or chased me across the desert or anything like that. That
So
didn't happen to me.
No? But
No.
did it?
Oh no, but I got to watch it happen. It was funny.
I'm surprised because you're pretty small. The spider would have probably thought it could take you.
Well, you
Drag
see,
you back to the nest.
they're not chasing the person; they're chasing the person's shadow because they want to get out of the sun.
Ah,
So as you go bolting, it goes, "Hey, my shade's running away," and it
Yes,
runs your shade down. Yeah.
that's amazing.
I think they're kind of funny, and they're not poisonous.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
no,
they're
but
not
they're a
poisonous. You don't see a
pounce
poison
rend
here.
monster.
Yeah, they're
No, but
apparently...
they're
They will run you the fuck down.
their mandibles are literally 2 sets of scissors side by side.
Yes.
That's how their mouth parts work. So, yeah, they're not poisonous. But if they decide they're going to bite you, it's going straight through you.
Yeah, and I mean, we see that when it becomes medium at a D8, you know, longsword damage on a bite. The claws are D4s, but the claws also rend, so another D4 plus 1.5 strength, and also they have pounce. Their starting stat line, like 12 strength, 15 dex, 15 con. They actually have a decent starting point, realistically. They're kind of chonky
Yeah.
between that and their
Yeah.
decent natural armor. And they get more constitution, so they rival the... Well, they don't quite rival the cockroach. The cockroach had a lot of con. But they have a good amount of constitution. They go up to 16 strength, so their strength isn't amazing. So Pounce and Ren's still good. I think it at least is a C tier, despite its poor stats.
Yeah,
because Pounce and
I
Ren is
mean,
good.
out of
Yeah.
just a standard stat block where it just does something, it's a little bit above it. It's fast. It can climb quite fast. The longsword bite goes up to 2d6 with improved. Yeah, I think it's a C. I think it's
I
just
mean,
a
You
okay
can't
all-rounder.
you can't rank pounce and rend any lower than C. I just can't. The fact that it can always full attack and it's actually got a respectable speed to get it. Like, imagine this fucker coming at you from 100 feet away and then suddenly like bite claw rend.
Right?
I mean, sure, but imagine that it's quite a low damage rend. The lower the lower the value of the damage the rend and the pounds. Well, yeah.
At
Like-
least it is coming in at 4th level advancement though, so it's not getting
True.
kicked in the balls with a terrible advancement at 7.
Yeah, it's actually a really good
True.
advancement for 4th level.
Maybe it's a low B then because it gets what it wants early-ish.
Maybe. My big thing is that it isn't stat sticky enough to really be good at what it wants to do.
Yeah, that's
why I was
next
it
one
thinking
either.
is
C.
effectively getting it effectively does have 4 attacks if it can land both claws.
Right, but the big thing about stuff like this is you chuck an AMF on it and you'd use it as a vector for additional dice or additional flat bonuses, and this thing doesn't have a neck, it's a vermin.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You can't AMF it, which
I mean,
means that
you
it's
can't AMF it, but you could make it a slotless equivalent. You know, for double the cost.
fucking pricey.
Yeah,
AMFs
Let's
already cost twice as much as their fucking contemporaries.
they do.
Mind you, if you're on a druid, just slap them with Magic Fang and you're good.
True. You could give Greater Magic Fang, and then it
Yeah.
basically has an AMF.
But then you could have a Deinonychus or something else with a lot of attacks that does
True.
it anyway,
Yeah.
but better.
Yes. And that's why I wasn't putting it any higher than C.
Yeah, okay. You spend a feat and it's not better than the other pounds rend nonsense.
It's
Yeah,
not better than
Mind
the
you-
premiums.
Mind you, there is something terrifying considering the pounce, so this thing is just flying at you like a fucking face hugger.
Yes.
I mean, that's what they do in real life too. Let's be honest.
Yes.
They run you the fuck down. All right, so a giant spider. F tier. I don't even have to explain it. Anyways, to actually explain it though.
Giant spiders are bad.
Okay, so it's not that it's slow, but it has no natural armor, and I want you to take a look at this strength and this con, and I think the strength and con will explain everything I need to say.
It can't take a hit. It can't hit.
take a hit. It can't hit.
It's not
It does
friendship.
basically no damage. Its poison isn't even particularly good. It doesn't support its poison. That's its entire point of bringing it is its poison. It's kind of bad.
F. Ben.
I mean, yeah, seriously, if you want a better spider, just go one entry up. Or probably one entry down.
The Web Tyrant, huh?
Yeah, this spider exists.
It's no
It
better
exists
than
in
the
a-
giant spider.
It is. Its starting
It's-
stats are better.
It's slightly better, but it doesn't have a poison. It does have web.
Arguably better than a poison if you're not going to support your poison.
Like, it might make it into D tier because it does have web. Like, I feel like if you took this spider and the previous spider and plugged them together, they might make it into high D, low C.
Ah, yes. So just take the fucking poison gland out of the buddy up top and slap it on this guy.
Basically, yeah.
And the tremor sense.
And the tremor sense.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, giant termite.
So, okay, so also F tier?
I'm
If you
thinking
want to
the
deal
giants.
for web,
Yeah.
you
I'm
wanna
thinking
do that,
the
that's
regular spider is definitely F, but the tyrant, I'm willing to give it a D for web, and just because its strength is way more respectable than the shittier spider above it.
Its strength is
That's-
actually a usable number.
Oh, actually,
Eventually.
no. As much as I like web, you're spending a feat for this fucker. F.
True. The spiders
F.
can live together. Alright,
Bang.
alright. So, giant termite. It crawls around, it climbs, both at 30 feet, so respectable climb. It's got actually solid natural armor. Its bite, like, okay, it starts at a D6, but hear me out, it goes up to a D8, and it gets
Plus
D6 acid attached to it.
alright.
Its starting stats are bad. It's a 4th level advancement though, so 16 strength, 14 con. It's not particularly durable, but 16 strength is what you got. Its swarming effect doesn't really matter, but
I mean, if you can get yourself multiple animal Mammoth Lord or Horse Lord it, and have
No, you're the termite lord.
now you're the Termite Lord,
I
and
mean,
they're all swarming with each other.
if you could termite lord and you'd have some teamwork feats from being a hunter as well, that you're just shoving onto them.
And they're all gargantuan termites.
I mean, you can build around it to make them do stupid shit, I guess.
Yeah, but whatever you're doing with these termites, just do it with the mosquito instead.
Fucking true.
True.
Jesus.
I mean, okay,
Yes.
but the mosquitoes cannot infinitely flank from the same space.
No,
I don't
they'll
think
just-
it matters
one
when there's
of
like
them will
4
have
of
to
them
use
eating
its.
you.
Yeah, one of them will have to use its slightly decent flying speed to go around the target so they can flank the normal way.
Yeah, I don't think that matters at that point. How much bleed? A
Okay.
lot.
I mean, okay, the bleed won't stack, but
The
the
con
bleed doesn't need to stack.
Let's say
The
chain
con
blood
drain.
drain.
Okay, so back to the giant termite.
It's not doing enough.
It's not very good.
Yeah,
If you can
like-
trigger its swarming, it might be decent.
It's not offending me like the spiders did with their terrible stats, especially if they're gonna make the fucking mosquito so damn good, but then the spiders are just like, fuck you, get in the bin.
Well, let's have a look. It goes up to 16 strength. Its constitution goes up to 14. It's got
Its
actually
dexterity
quite
drops
a
to a negative.
who fucking
Yeah.
that offsets its natural armor certainly.
Slightly.
Yeah, no, like
I
I'm
think it might
thinking, I'm thinking D. It's
I-
not offending me, but
I think it might be a C because it's at least competently mauling something.
It does. Its bite does kind of hurt, and it does basically have a free magic enchantment in the form of some mundane acid just thrown into its bite, and
And
not
it
a
ignores
small
hardness
amount.
of 5 or less, apparently.
C, despite spending a feat on this little bugger.
Yeah, I think so, actually. Like, if you didn't spend a fee on it, it'd probably still be D. It might build a verge onto C through shenanigans. I don't think it's so bad as to be F, because F is...
Oh no,
I
no,
see
I
F
was
as basically
thinking D.
this is basically unusable tier.
Yeah, F is irredeemable.
This
Alright,
is redeemable, so I think it deserves D.
Oh boy.
The giant wasp. I mean, we've got a pretty short stat line here, so that probably tells you what you need to know.
Looks like it wants to be a mosquito.
It flies, it stings, it poisons. Its poison is dex damage. It doesn't get any better than what it is baseline. Its constitution is at least mostly supported, but not particularly well supported.
It's an 18 strength large flyer. It can
Yeah.
be ridden.
True. It could be ridden.
Yeah,
I
but there's a
think
turtle
it's-
you could ride too.
This is true, but
It's a fly gas turtle.
okay,
Yes.
like if we're gonna look at it as a mount, I think it would probably make it maybe into C tier. It's probably arguably better than some of the worse mounts that we've seen, but it's not as good as some of the bigger birds.
Yeah,
Sure, but some of the high tier birds are just good for no reason compared to every other bird.
Yes.
You know, like big owl and big pelican.
Okay, I mean, I guess does it deserve to hang out with the other birds?
No,
So we should.
I think it's a
C
C
tier?
tier because it's got a decent strength. It's got a decent strength. What does its poison do?
one dex.
Not a whole lot.
Oh, not
it's-
a lot. Okay.
If its poison was good, I'd probably advocate for it going to B. But
It
like,
doesn't have any
one dex.
extra attacks, and since it's only got a single sting, it kind of sucks that they put it at longsword damage. They could have at least given it the 2d6 that they gave some other single attackers.
I mean, it is getting 1.5 strength, but it would be nice if it was greatsword damage instead of two-handed longsword damage.
Yeah.
That is the bottom of our Curious Companions Vermin list.
So what do we have left?
Basically the magic horses. We could discuss oozes. We could discuss the animal companions from like 3.5 that are added via that 1 feat. And there's the Drake.
Okay.
Yes.
The drakes.
As much as I want them to be good, I have opinions on the drakes.
Oh, and
I
feats and
can't
magic
wait
items
to
and
hear them
such.
all.
Oh yeah, there's feet. There are opinions to be had there.
Hell yeah.
So, do we have any other feelings about this list? Are we happy with this?
Fucking mosquitoes.
That fucking
Fucking
mosquito.
mosquitoes, man. Yeah, if you go Curious Companion, just get the mosquito. Forget the rest of them.
Honestly, like, even though it costs a frickin' feat, I could see, I would build around having that frickin' mosquito.
As it
Yeah.
turns out, a pile of disgusting abilities is all you need to be considered usable in this meta. Thumbs up.
You mean
I
in
mean-
this meta? It also needs to be able to take a hit, because if it just gets slapped out of the fucking air, then it doesn't matter what abilities it had, it's dead.
I hate the mosquito, okay? It's
That's
good,
what-
and I
that's-
hate it. Because I
That's
hate
why it has the
mosquitoes.
21 dex, because the fat devs could not swat it. Just like they couldn't catch something they flipped.
Alright,
Is that how
alright.
you see the Paizo devs, like that fat guy from the World of Warcraft South Park episode?
Absolutely. After that whole thing of, oh, the weapon cord doesn't work because I'm not able to do it. Yes, that's exactly how I see it.
Fantastic.
Because lo and
it's hard to
behold,
argue.
I am a fat chick with terrible dexterity, and I can do that.
Anyways,
I have no more opinions. Mosquito good, the rest of them, no.
if you like
Oh,
what
and-
we do... Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, oh, and again, don't mind Ashy. Clowns, you are welcome to watch.
What have you got against clowns?
So, I don't know why, but at some point I developed just a fear against towards clowns. Like, when I was younger, I liked clowns. And then I suddenly stopped liking clowns, and they started creeping me out.
Ah.
The natural enemy of the Ashy, the clown.
Probably so.
I think a lot of people agree with you, though.
Clowns creep me
Yes.
out. I don't know why. So if you like what we do, consider subscribing. Consider leaving a like. Maybe leave a comment. Tell us how you'd also abuse the mosquito.
Tell us if
And-
we're wrong and stupid.
Oh yeah, by all means. I
Please.
would love to hear if I'm wrong and stupid. Please.
Absolutely.
And bye.
Ciao.
Bye.